Right, hello, I'm Debs. This is Debs Make This. Welcome. I have a plans video for you today. I'm Debs. This is my channel where I talk about all things making and sewing. So if that interests you, please stay tuned. These are my plans for kind of November, December. I have a lot more than I'm showing you, but I kind of find that if I get too planny, then I don't want to do the thing. It kind of makes it feel like it's an obligation. So I'm just going to crack on. Everything that I talk about I will link down below, and I think I have my fabrics here for everything that I'm going to talk about. I'm hoping I do. So number one on the cutting table, because I've had a kind of wonky sojo a couple of months, I didn't think I'd made very much at all, but actually it turns out there was quite a few things that I was making. So I am going to perhaps do a video about how to kind of kickstart your sojo. I mean, there's probably quite a lot of those about, but it wasn't quite what I thought it would be actually. So yeah, okay. Number one plan is going to be to use this beautiful, I have got the ring light thing on, so I'm sorry if the shadows are a bit weird. This beautiful piece of wool. It's not a challis, it's heavier than a challis. But this came from the Rosenberg Brothers stand at the Knitting and Stitching show, and it was definitely pre-COVID. I think this is from 2019. But it has sat in my stash. I used the other piece of wool that I bought from them to make a pattern scout birdie, which I love. But this has just sat there. And so the plan for this is it's going to be a fibre mood Betsy skirt. And I did and ah about making it into a pair of bobs, but I thought it might actually be a little bit scratchy. So I'm going to line it in this blue kind of, it's not really lining, it's kind of actually taffeta, but I was trying to think of something that would look nice. So the Fibre Mood Betsy has got like a high-low hem, so I thought this would look really nice kind of peeking through underneath at the back. So yeah, that's going to be the lining. Now the Fibre Mood Betsy is like a really old pattern. I made it 3 or 4 years ago maybe, in a blue tencel, and I got a Ashton top pieced and the Betsy skirt out of 1.5 meters, so I'm confident I have sufficient for this. But yeah, so I'm quite excited to get on with that, and it's really easy sew. It doesn't have any closures. It has an elastic waist and a high-low hem. I'm going to increase the size of the waistband just because I quite like that as a look whenever I make a narrow-ish elastic waistband. I don't like how it looks, whereas if I increase it to kind of a 6 or 7 centimeter waistband, it seems to do the job. So that is number one. That is going to happen very soon, as long as I can kind of keep going without getting the fear. And then what I'm doing is kind of sewing in little modules at the moment. The idea being that I'm going to have kind of ways to wear things. So there are a couple of kind of tops. I think there's another one somewhere actually, but never mind. So this is a really nice, I think it's cotton viscose, this, which came from Abercans, I don't know, a long time ago, and has always been destined to be a Marilla Walker Isca shirt, which is one that's got like a line at the centre. So the idea was then I could kind of play with the stripes a little bit, but I thought that would look really cool with that skirt that I'm making. So that also, I'm quite excited to sew that. I'm trying to stick to things that yeah, I'm getting that tingle about sewing them. So I'm going to sew those two. Now, then I thought, actually, you know, I'm not going to want to iron a shirt every time I want to wear that skirt. I have got a high-necked Rowan bodysuit in a kind of greeny colour, which I think will work really well with it. But I quite like the idea of having something in that kind of blue tone as well. So I had this from a D-stash from somebody whose name I can't remember, but and I've got a couple of meters of this. So what I was thinking was I could do a Rowan tee. I also have a pattern called, I want to say it's called Walter, but I can't remember who it's by. I think I even printed it out, but because you need to add the seam allowance, I kind of lost my oomph slightly. But yeah, so I want to make like a close fitting top out of this one. I mean, I'll probably just end up making a V-necked Rowan or something, but that's what that's going to be. I was going to make a black hood in this, but I'm not. I think I kind of want shorter top layers rather than very long top layers with that long skirt. I have got a lichen duster in a kind of tealy green colour, which I think might work as well. And last year for my birthday, I had a deep green leather jacket, which I haven't actually worn, mostly because I'm really worried it's going to get like stained from getting rained on or something. But that's kind of at the heart of this. I want to kind of put that capsule together, and then the idea is I'm going to like try on lots of different outfits at the end, so I get like a little bit of a lookbook going on. There's another bottom, and then I kind of move into the next capsule collection-y thing. Oh no, there's this as well. So this is another knit that I thought went really well. And the plan was to make, it's what I've got underneath here. It's too cold to sit around in a t-shirt at the moment. So I've got a ready to wear boat neck top over the top, which is like a merino wool one. It's really lovely. But the plan was that this was going to be a cashmerette Carlisle. I'll put a picture of me in my Carlisle, which was a refashion for Sew Up Cycle 23. But I'm just not sure. I think I need to make some adjustments to that. I think it needs more shoulder width for me and a slightly forward shoulder adjustment. But I'm not sure about the square neck. So chip in down below and see what you think about that square neck on me. But the idea was that there was another, so I would have two like stretchy tops and a woven top to wear with that skirt. And then another pair of bottoms. So the other pair of bottoms, this is really creased, I'm very sorry. This is a cotton twill that's going to be the O's Patterns Glennon trousers, which are a wide leg trouser. And then that will kind of round off that little capsule. So this has been on the cards for a really long time. You've probably heard me talk about this before. This is a wool silk blend, which is just so lovely, which is going to be a fen shirt by Pattern Fantastique. I have made one of those before, and I need to make some adjustment, which is what's holding me back. So I have bought, never buy a paper pattern. I kind of treated myself to the paper pattern, but now I need to make the adjustments. I've got to trace off another smaller size. So I made the size that fitted me. It is an oversized pattern, but what I was finding was I'm too short from here to here, so I need to make this bit shorter. But because it's got that kind of very interesting sleeve piece, I didn't want to mess with that too much, so I talked to the pattern designer about how to do it. So when I've completed that, I'll show you what she said about that. But essentially, I'm going to make the sleeve, this part of the sleeve, from the smaller size, but keep my additional monkey arm length for the sleeve piece. But that's another one I'm quite excited about. And then these have been sitting looking at me for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't made them, and I think it's just because there's all the flat felling to do, which is dreadful, isn't it? I quite like flat felling, but I don't know why. This is a very nice piece of wool. So I don't know where this came from, the Cone Exchange, which is a thrifted fabric place near us. But it feels really nice. It's got a lovely smooth handle and a lovely drape. So that is going to be a pair of Arthur trousers. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably make bobs as well if I've got some left. And then I'm going to tackle the fierce. So this has not been washed. Right. If somebody knows the answer to this, this is Liberty silk. And this was what I bought with my birthday voucher from the lovely sister Mintaka. And how beautiful is that? So nice. So lovely. Right, so that is going to be a blouse, but I haven't washed it yet. I am going to wash it, and I'm going to wash it on cold. But would you overlock the edge before you wash it? Or do you think I should just do a straight stitch along the edge? I'm just trying to work out how to stop it kind of falling to pieces in the washing machine. And I did have several plans for that. The Pauline Alice Rayner is still up there on the list, and something like the Fibre Mood Norma as well is a possibility. But I saw the lovely Andrea from At the Pink Door, and she was wearing an Atelier Jupe Olivia blouse. Now, Olivia blouse, this has passed me by completely. I don't know quite why I haven't seen this, but I think that would work really, really well for that Liberty silk. It's got minimal seam lines. It's got a V neck and a bound collar. And a little placket, I think, and a kind of narrow sleeve, although I probably will make that longer and put a cuff on it, just because that's kind of the way I like to go. So before I make that I haven't got, that's the only one of all these plans that I haven't got the pattern for. And I'm just going to wait and see how I'm getting on. I think I just want to get that Liberty sewn up before I get the fear and it doesn't happen. So the only sew up cycle plan, if you saw, I'll put in a link to my plans video. So the only plan I didn't get finished was to make this skirt into something. So I might use that if I can squeak it out. I might do that atelier jute pattern out of that first of all, and then I think that one will go really nice with those green wide leg pants as well. So that should then cross kind of both parts of the capsule, hoping. So have you done like that? Have you sewn in these modules before? I mean, sometimes I do it kind of like accidentally. This is much more deliberate, and I'm not sure whether that's going to work for me or against me, but I'm hoping I've got enough kind of variety of things that I can sew that it'll keep me out of mischief. The other things that are floating about, there are two more things floating about. One is my first hinterland, and I've got some like a lightweight denim that I'm going to try that in. And I've also need some jammers, so I'm going to sew another So Liberated Nocturne out of some double gauze. But I think I'll just do those kind of when I'm feeling inspired to do so. So I think that's it from me. If any of those float your boat, or any of those you think, what's she doing? She's a mad woman. Then drop me a comment down below and let me know. And I hope wherever you are in the world, you are finding time to rest and replenish and do some making if that's something that brings you joy. Bye. Say bye-bye.